we're so excited to have you here. I thought that with so much bad news out there in the community and hard news that we wanted to share some really good news. Community Servings is open. We're an essential business and we're feeding more people than ever before. If you're new to our Facebook page, just to remind you, Community Servings is a food and nutrition program for people who are too sick to feed themselves. We're feeding people all over Massachusetts who are immune compromised, homebound, very isolated, and very much at risk for COVID-19. So we really want to show you what we're doing. I'm David Waters, I'm the CEO, and I want to take you on a tour of our new food campus. Lucky for us, we just finished construction on a $25 million new kitchen facility here in Jamaica Plain. The perfect place to significantly increase the number of meals we're doing, but also do it with social distancing. It's a big space, and I can't wait to show to you. Today's also very special because we're marking our 9 millionth meal that we've done over the last 30 years. So come on and join us. You're going to see that meal come right off the line. But before you come in, I need a few things. So in order to come in, you have to fill out a form that tells us that you're healthy, that you haven't got a fever, that you haven't been exposed. And then we use this for contact tracing. So if there was an issue, we know exactly who's in our building every single day. And then we're going to come on over here. Everybody's got to sanitize their hands as they come in so that we know that they're clean and healthy, as well as lots and lots of hand washing. And then we're going to take our temperature right here, aiming at the forehead. And Sean, our receptionist, is going to track it. So Sean, mine is 98.1. I think I'm good to go. And then I got to sanitize the thermometer to make sure that the next person coming along isn't getting any of my germs. With that, I think we're ready to go. Come on back. As we're walking back, everybody loves to see this great display. These are our campaign donors who helped to make this all possible. And we feel so blessed to have the support of the community. Hey there, how are you? As we're coming down, we're going from our new building into our old building, which is all kitchen now. And I just want to show you these great sinks here. You know, we were so focused on cleanliness and food safety before the virus, but look at this space. It's just like a surgical suite would have for scrubbing up. Everybody is scrubbing up, changing their gloves, washing regularly, wearing masks, and really ready to make sure that the food is safe, that the staff are safe, the volunteers are safe, and most importantly, that our clients are safe. I want to introduce you to Brian Hilmer, who's our executive chef. And Brian, will you take us on a tour of your new kitchens?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
Great. We're going to go down here.
Yeah, so right here we have our roasted carrot soup. So this is about, it starts with 100 pounds of fresh carrots that we get locally. We end up roasting them for a couple hours to pull the sugar out of them, make it a little bit sweeter without having to add it ourselves. And then it goes into a pot with a bunch of garlic, celery, onions, some tarragon, a little bit of parsley and thyme. And then we cook that down until it's nice and smooth and delicious. And then we'll pack that up later today.
Let's zoom right in and show that so people really see that what a beautiful, huge pot of soup. How many portions is that?
This is going to end up being about enough soup for about 250 people.
That's awesome. Come on back here. I saw you making some other great things. What are you guys cooking today overall?
Today we're doing 9 entrees, so chicken patties, turkey and squash chili, beef bourguignon, cornmeal crusted fish, mushroom bolognese, our Maryland baked fish, which is done in a classic Chesapeake seasoning. We do a rosemary thyme fish. It's worth noting that all the fish that we use here is all locally caught. It's all fresh. It comes from our fishermen partners, right off the coast. So.
And your beef is local too, right? A lot of it.
Yeah, so we actually pull the vast majority of our beef is grass-fed, no hormones, no antibiotic inputs. It's coming out of Vermont, so it's a small collective of cattle farmers who do everything the right way, and it's a business model that we want to support. So, not to mention that it's so much more delicious and nutritious for our clients. Here's another example of one of our soups. So this is a chicken Florentine. So it's like spinach and a little bit of chili in there. It's definitely chicken base and a little bit of cream. So we try to balance out the fat and the sugar and the salt and all the deliciousness so that our clients get something that's both visually appealing, it smells amazing, and tastes great, and is also good for them. So
one of the really special things about our kitchen for the listeners is that we're doing huge production, but we're doing it all scratch made. So there's no processed foods. These guys are doing homemade stocks, fresh vegetables, donated by local farms, herbs we grow on the property. Really beautiful things. I love this bolognese down here.
So this dish is a mushroom bolognese. It's still in the process of cooking, so it's not quite finished yet. But we want to also, obviously eating a ton of ground beef is not always going to be best for clients that maybe have a cardiac issue or some other dietary requirements. And so we kind of replicate those flavors and textures by using things like mushrooms, and we get this really nice depth of flavor and texture and color. But we skip basically all the saturated fat. And so this is kind of a fun, game that we're playing with this food here. So this is the mushroom bolognese, and behind David is actually, if you want to look at that lid, is spaghetti squash. So we roasted and peeled spaghetti squash, so you have basically spaghetti bolognese. All right?
That's great. Let's come on over here where it's a little quieter and we'll talk some more. Brian, one of the questions we got from a viewer was, can you explain a little bit about what it means to do a medically tailored diet and the number of diets that you do?
Yeah, so currently we're offering 15 medically tailored diets, but they can be given to a client in combination. So we'll have, so this really ends up being like just under 100 different combinations that you could possibly do with for our clients. And what we say by medically tailored is we'll take a look at what the dietary needs with our nutrition team, and they'll set benchmarks on certain nutrients like sodium, saturated fat, fiber, potassium, phosphorus, all these different things that are specifically necessary in certain quantities for our clients. And then I build recipes based on those benchmarks. And then it's a little bit of a back and forth where it's an experiment. We show them what we're able to achieve. They critique and kind of lower the levels or raise the levels and give us direction. And then ultimately we'll come up with a recipe. So it can take a week or two to actually develop a new recipe if it's something a little bit more complicated. The goal is always to get as close to something that you would experience in a restaurant, but without ever compromising the nutritional composition.
So it's really what the food becomes is almost like a prescription, a really delicious prescription that's bringing you exactly what your doctor needs you to be eating for patients that have multiple critical illnesses, whether it's cancer, diabetes, kidney failure, heart disease, etc. But it's just a really unique program to bring a medically tailored meal directly to someone's home. Now tell us, how has it changed in COVID? How have you had to do less, do more? What's happening?
So since COVID really kind of took hold and it's shut down the city as much as it did, demand for what we do has really increased dramatically. So we've had about a 40% production increase, and that happened over the course of about 4 days, where we went from producing about 10 to 11,000 meals a week, and now we're producing anywhere about 16,000 meals a week. So it's a pretty big jump. But we have this fantastic facility, and we have a lot of help, and so we're able to do this. So one of the reasons that it jumped so dramatically and quickly, we were asked by the city to help address food insecurity within the city, and so we're creating an additional 2,500 to 3,000 meals every week, specifically to get back to the city so that it can go to some of our nonprofit partners and then be distributed to the public at large, to those who really need it. So.
That's really great. Yeah, so there's 3,000 frozen entrees going out, being distributed at places like Dorchester Boys and Girls Club, the large mosque here in Roxbury, homeless shelters, transitional housing, addiction programs, and we're so proud to partner with the mayor's office to do that on top of a meals program that's growing by 40%, feeding more people all across the state. How can people help us at this time, Brian?
Well, you may have noticed that the kitchen seems a little bit spare right now because we're practicing really rigorous social distancing. We've reduced our volunteer numbers down to a much more manageable size, even though we have people ask us to volunteer with some frequency, but we have to keep it low so that we can be safe. So right now, in addition to signing up for volunteering in the future, when we hope to bring more people in, you would check the website to look for how you can donate to us. That's this facility and the food that we're sending out, which is always going to be top quality. It just requires a lot of revenue in order to keep us delivering at the level that we want to deliver at.
Brian, we're so lucky to have you and your team doing this work with us. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on a future filming.
Oh yeah, thanks.
That's great. All right, let's come on back here. I want to also introduce you to Kevin Connor and Sierra Learning Kitchen here, which is a beautiful new space. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, David.
This
How
is
are you?
Kevin Connor, who's our COO, Chief Operating Officer. Kevin, tell us about this room and what it's normally used for, and then what we're using it for today.
Well, this space right now, we call this our learning kitchen. It was designed for our teaching kitchen program, and the teaching kitchen program is designed to work with people that have barriers to employment. Regardless of where they are in their life, they're here to learn a culinary skill and life skills. So as you can see, it's pretty much a state-of-the-art kitchen space. We have a demo space to learn, and then ovens, a flat top, and stove top, so they can learn culinary skills.
But during COVID, we've had to change and pivot. And so, how are you using the space now?
So when you first started, you probably saw a volunteer kitchen, and we want to be able to allow them to have the space that they need to do the work. So in this space, we just package all of our meals. We package about 3,000 meals a day for our clients in the city, and this allows us to have the proper space and be safe within our building.
One of the challenges for us has been that we can't have as many volunteers, and of course many people are homebound, so they're not able to come out and volunteer. So what we've done to make sure the kitchens are full is Kevin and Brian have gone back to previous graduates of our job training program who've maybe lost their job recently in the food business, in the restaurant business, and we've brought them back on. So we have here Jermaine and Ricky, who are both graduates over the last 10 years, and others throughout the building who are helping us to make more meals. They know our kitchen, they're very talented, and they've been a great boon to us. So we're also, helping people come off of unemployment and be able to support their families at this really, really hard time. But this is an exciting phase because we are today marking our 9 millionth meal in the last 30 years. So, how are we doing with packaging? You ready to do that meal?
We're ready.
All right, let's get scooping on that big meal.
All right. We know there's about 12 more we need to do.
So we got about 12 here we're going to help you do while we're on camera.
Yep.
That's great. And what are we serving today, Kevin?
So this is a renal dish. Actually, it's a rosemary fish with some white rice and carrots. And we're really excited about being our 9 millionth meal.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And while we're waiting for that, I should point out that right out the windows, we have beautiful herb gardens in the new space here, where we can use the gardens for herbs to use in our kitchen, but also as a teaching tool. You'd be surprised how many people either think of herbs only as dried in a jar and coming from the store. But like the best food, they come directly out of the ground. And for us to be able to grow our own basil and peppers and mint and things is such a boon to the high quality scratch meals that we're making. Tell us about what's happening in delivery, because I know that also has had to change a lot.
Well, within our delivery department, with our growth, there's just been an expansion, just reaching out to all the communities that we possibly can. We've also introduced shipping of our meals, and our goal is to be able to serve the whole state by the end of this year. I think we're almost there, David.
All right, I want to do it. I want to do it. Can I put it in?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
this is the 9 millionth meal going right here in the tray. I'm really excited. I think I was here for the 5th million and the 4th million and the 6th million, so I'm happy to do the 9th million. So we're going to run that through. Ricky's going to run it through, and
Let it just keep running.
Kevin's going to get to market.
That's it.
All right.
Number 9
what do you say we all give a round of applause for the 9 millionth meal?
Thank the volunteers too.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without volunteers. You know, one of the fun things we've discovered in the era of social distancing is that when we have families come to volunteer, like right here behind us, they don't need to social distance because they've been together all along. So if you're thinking of volunteering, bring your kids, bring your family that you're with, and we can be that much more productive. So, Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you to the volunteers and the staff. We're going to go back to the lobby now and finish up. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
So much. Yes.
Let's get started.
Yes. To the best, man. To the best volunteers.
So here we are back in the lobby, and I just want to mention that this is our first Facebook Live. If you like this, please share it. Please like it on social media. We're hoping to do more of these, but it all drives based on the reaction of the community. So if you can help us spread the word, it's like it's the old-fashioned ripples in the pond. If you share this, if we find more people who want to come volunteer, to write a check, to make a donation, we can feed so many more people at the biggest crisis any of us have ever lived through in our lives. These folks are very, very scared, and we need to be there for them, and therefore we need you to be there with us. So thank you for coming and seeing our new kitchen. We hope you'll come in person once we're back open for tours. But in the meantime, thank you for sharing our 9 millionth meal with us. Stay safe and stay well. We send our love when we send out our meals to our clients. Thanks.